what I'm seeing is I see a hungry Crawford, a Crawford that has been looking for the opportunity for a long time, finally getting the opportunity, and really ready to grab.
And it's exciting. You know, Terence is freakishly strong. He can punch. He's got good crack. He can fight from both ways. Orthodox southpaw. He can fight at mid-range, close range, and outside, and he can fight going both ways. So it's exciting. It's exciting.
I'm going with Terence Crawford. You know, big weight jump, a dangerous fight, but somebody's got to prove to me that they can break Terence Crawford's will, and that.
Few matchups in boxing history spark as much debate as a potential showdown between Floyd Mayweather Jr. and Terence "Bud" Crawford. Both men represent the pinnacle of their respective eras. Experts, pundits, and fellow boxers have weighed in on who would come out on top if these two masters ever shared the ring. The discussion isn't only about skill, it's about legacy. Mayweather's flawless technical control stands against Crawford's versatility and killer instinct.
That Floyd Mayweather ain't done.
Like what?
Like what?
Audience that don't know.
He is a two-time undisputed champion. Floyd wasn't a one-time undisputed champion. So he has all the belts in one division and then moved up and got all the belts in another division. I don't know if that's ever happened in the history of boxing.
Yes, and he beat the man.
And he beat the man. Let's give Terence Crawford his flowers, because everything he said he was going to do,
he done it.
Floyd Mayweather retired with a perfect 50-0 record, one of the cleanest resumes the sport has ever seen. His legendary career was filled with victories over world champions across 5 different weight divisions. Mayweather's uncanny ability to neutralize both hard punchers and tactical boxers made him one of the most respected defensive fighters in history.
Floyd Mayweather stopped Conor McGregor in the 10th round to improve to 50-0 in what he says will be his final fight. I actually believe him this time, Max. What's his legacy?
Well, he's one of the great pure boxers who ever lived. He is never cheated himself. He always was in condition. He had no off nights. That's why he won every fight. It's one of the reasons. Not because he's one of the best to ever do it, and because he was always prepared over a very long amateur and pro career. Amazing. Another reason is he carefully selected opponents, knew when and where and when and who to fight, and basically changed the paradigm in boxing. I'll translate. He flipped the script. I mean, really, boxing is basically, and this is just the way it is, and I'm a huge boxing fan, and I make no apologies about it, but it is fans and networks essentially exploiting fighters. That's how it works. We want to, and we demand a level of dedication and risk-taking with your health that's insane, right? Like, someone's getting their head beaten every which way, and if you quit, you don't have heart. You can't be a great fighter, which is true, by the way. It's a blood sport. And Floyd, and usually fighters wind up broke and punch drunk. And Floyd Mayweather flipped the script. He said, no, I'm not going to let the game play me. I'm going to play the game.
Terence Crawford, meanwhile, has built one of the most complete legacies of the modern era. He became an undisputed champion in multiple divisions and has proven his ability to adapt to any style. His switch hitting, explosive power, and elite ring IQ have turned him into a nightmare for opponents. Crawford's dominance at welterweight has placed him firmly in the pound-for-pound conversation, with only Mayweather's shadow hovering above. Fighters and boxing veterans continue to share their thoughts on the ongoing debate.
Is on Terence Crawford's side, all the legacy, meaning he only has the opportunity to win the belts. Saul only has an opportunity to defend them. Terence Crawford has an opportunity to be in a 5 division and the only person to win all 4 belts in 3 separate weight divisions. Why is Saul taking this fight? And I'm gonna tell you why. Because there's some things in life more important than just the belts. And that 20-year career that Terence Crawford made, that all that he has, is very valuable. Very, very valuable. He had 1 foot out the game, and if he can be the man to defeat him, because remember, if Saul beats him, Terence Crawford was the first man to get all 4 belts in 2 separate weight divisions. Yes, I beat that champion. Yes, I beat the multiple division champion, and he had the...
Oscar De La Hoya, who once fought Mayweather, recently said he still sees Floyd as the superior fighter. He argues that Mayweather's record and technical brilliance make him untouchable in head-to-head comparisons. De La Hoya's view reflects the respect many veterans have for Floyd's consistency and ability to win at the highest level. On the other side stands Canelo Alvarez, who fought Mayweather in 2013 but also faced Crawford recently. Canelo caused a stir when he said Crawford is way better than Floyd, praising Bud's intelligence, versatility, and the level of his recent victories. Coming from someone who has shared the ring with both, his opinion carries real weight.
I have to disagree because Floyd Mayweather toyed with Canelo. Like, he literally toyed with him. He didn't get hit at all. Not one time. And Crawford, yeah, he's more of a fighter, boxer. Mayweather's more of a boxer. But I have to disagree. I think Mayweather is much more superior than Crawford. Not just because he beat me and it was a close fight, whatever, or that I stepped in the ring with Mayweather, but I really feel that technically Mayweather's a better fighter.
You faced Mayweather, you were 23 years old, I believe?
23.
And
Just
again,
turned 22.
Yeah, you just turned 23. You didn't have a lot of seasoning. I know people say, oh, he had a lot of fights. Well, you didn't have an amateur career. You started boxing at 15 as a pro, right?
Yeah.
So you gave up the weight concession, you gave up the rehydration clause, and I always thought if you would have faced him, with some more seasoning, it would have gone differently.
He deserved the position in that moment because, Floyd Mayweather is one of the best fighters in the boxing history, and he deserved the position in that moment. I try to make history, and I try to put myself in the very top in that moment. But for some reason, it doesn't happen, right? And yeah, like you say, if I had that fight with Miguel Angel Cotto first and all these kind of fights, and then fight Mayweather, maybe go in the different way. But we never gonna know. And I learned from that fight, and like I say, things happen for a reason.
Shane Mosley, another veteran who went 12 rounds with Mayweather, leans toward Crawford in this hypothetical matchup. He believes Crawford's all-around skill set makes him more dangerous and complete than Floyd. Mosley's perspective comes from experience. He knows Mayweather's brilliance is undeniable, but he also feels Crawford brings angles and weapons Floyd never had to deal with.
Who do you think's better out of those two, Crawford or Mayweather?
I think Crawford is better, bigger. Like he's actually he moved in weight class, and I would say Crawford is a better fight all around fighter. Mayweather's really good too, though. You can knock him as well. He's very talented. It would have been a tough fight, but I think Crawford would have the edge over Mayweather because of the long arms and because it's bigger. You know what I'm saying? And he would have kept him at bay. It would have been hard for Mayweather to counter, maybe. But Mayweather's definitely a technician. I mean, it's, like Crawford said, Mayweather has his era, and Crawford this.
At the same time, Mosley has acknowledged that while he respects Crawford's all-around abilities, Mayweather is no weak link. He has repeatedly said that Floyd's defensive genius and discipline make him one of the most difficult puzzles to solve in boxing history.
Surprised about his power. When you attack Floyd, he has a way of making you run into it and you feel the power, like a collision. But when you kind of box away from him, yes, he has power, but not like he does when you're trying to attack him. He's not weak, he's strong. Like I say, he trains hard and he does all the things you're supposed to do as a fighter or as a champion to be the best.
Mosley fought Floyd back in 2010 and even rocked him badly in the second round. But after that, Mayweather adjusted instantly, shutting him down and never allowing another clear opportunity. That experience shaped Mosley's opinion. He respects Crawford's switch hitting, size, and offensive creativity, but he also knows firsthand that Floyd can neutralize even the best weapons.
Everybody talk about Shane Cardi, but what was the issue? Shane started hesitating. Why did Shane hesitate? Because he took the best shot and he stood there, held on tight. And on top of that, made Shane feel his strength and came back out like nothing happened the previous round.
Right.
But still stone cold.
Right.
And then Shane ends up being the one hesitating, waiting, and the fight get away from him.
I'm saying that Shane hit me with a hell of a shot. Okay. Actually, 2 shots. Okay. But even in that particular round, what I said to Shane was this. I was like, you dead self said something to him when you grabbed. I said, you gotta kill me.
Oh shit!
I wasn't ready, Floyd. I said that was a good one. And I said that was a good one, but you gotta kill me. I said you gotta kill me. And did I mean I'm not gonna lie.
Andre Ward, Crawford's close friend and former champion, has consistently defended him against comparisons to Mayweather. Ward highlights Crawford's adaptability, skill, and ability to dominate elite opponents as proof that he belongs in any discussion about all-time greats.
Who's the most skilled fighter today?
Bud is definitely one of them, for sure. Tyke Shakur, Devin, Boots,
Jerron, my favorite.
It's a lot of them, and they skillful in different ways. You know what I'm saying? Somebody that, like, I can bet the house on is Bud. Because me and him, we so much alike in our mentality. Like, soon as I see this dude, he come in the room or I come in the room, we start arguing. About basketball, wrestling, anything, bro. Like, man, you can't, man, you looking small. What you mean I'm looking small? You looking small. You gotta really hurt that dude to turn him away and to try to stop him from doing what he want to do. So, skillful, yes. But this and this, it's different, man. There's not a lot of guys like that out there currently. There's a lot of guys that talking. But until you get in that real fire, I'm not saying you fighting a guy you should beat. I'm saying a guy that it's a 50-50 matchup. We don't really know what you have. You don't even really know what you.
Ward has even gone so far as to call Crawford the greatest of this generation. His loyalty isn't only about friendship, it's about what he sees in Crawford's record, dominance, and versatility. After Crawford's destruction of Errol Spence Jr., Ward declared that Bud had earned the right to be considered the best fighter of this era.
Andre, we just seen Terence Crawford create greatness and beat Canelo Alvarez tonight. What was your thoughts on that performance from Terence?
Terence Crawford, great performance, man. He's been doing this throughout the course of his career. The stakes were a lot different in this fight, a lot more danger. He had to fight that kind of fight in order to beat Canelo Alvarez tonight, and he did that at 37, but getting ready to be 38 years old. And he proved, like Max said, that he is the GOAT of this generation. Hats off to Canelo for taking the fight. He didn't have to take it. Hats off to Turkey Al-Sheikh for putting it together. Just a great, great night for boxing.
Yeah. How special a fighter is someone like Terence Crawford? There was no signs of a size disadvantage there. How special?
You can see it in spots, but it wasn't significant. And I didn't think it was going to be significant. And people call me crazy, but I've been around Terence. He's strong. He's got a wrestling background, and people don't realize that he's been boiling himself down all these years and still being successful, not having to do that. His condition seemed impeccable, and his strength was there, the power was there enough to get respect from Canelo. So what more can I say?
What would you like to see him do next? Do you think there's another fight after this?
I'd like to see him be done. What are we boxing for at this point? What else is there to do? There's always going to be a YouTuber or a reporter or somebody conjuring up another challenge. We box to get ourselves in a better financial position, to build a name and a legacy. Those boxes are checked. What else are we doing? Why are we still in the game?
Yeah, I get it. Andre, always good to see.
Mayweather himself has spoken about Crawford with both respect and confidence. He's praised Crawford for big wins, especially his demolition of Errol Spence Jr., but he always reminds fans of his own accomplishments and the level of greatness he achieved over decades. Floyd positions himself as the standard against which others are measured. That tension between admiration and pride keeps the debate alive, as Mayweather continues to defend his claim as the best of his era.
I want him to fight. I really like both of those guys. A lot. You know, I had a chance to hang around Earl. I had a chance to hang around Terence. And both guys, class act. It would look like I'm leaning towards one guy because I boxed one guy before.
It was beautiful to watch, but also tough to watch to see what happened to Errol. Obviously, we don't wish that on,
Nobody.
The
best man won. If I was training him or I was in his corner, I don't think he should be fighting at 147 at all. I don't even think he should be fighting at 154.
Really?
I think he should be fighting at 160 or 168.
Wow.
That's just my honest opinion.
Roy Jones Jr. has been outspoken in placing Crawford near the very top of the modern pound-for-pound rankings. He said Crawford has been dominating for years and called him the current king, with Naoya Inoue close behind. Roy has also criticized parts of Mayweather's legacy, arguing that while Floyd is great, there were fighters whose styles might have troubled him more than people admit. On the Crawford-Canelo front, Roy described Bud as a smaller man capable of beating bigger fighters, implying that he sees Crawford as someone who could handle challenges even Mayweather might have struggled with.
I rank him probably in your top 10, maybe even your top 5.
Where do you rank Terence, in your opinion?
I put him in the top 15, maybe the top 10, because he definitely has the skill of a top 5. Just that he hasn't had the opposition that some guys were able to get, and that's not his fault. He just made one of the best fighters in his weight class look like nobody. That's pretty damn good. Now he proved what we already thought. We just didn't see him against the best opposition near his weight class. See, this is the thing people don't understand. This is what I like about Bud. He reminds me of Roy. We ain't got to have the best opposition in our weight class. We want the best opposition near our weight class.
There's been discussion that maybe, Crawford and Inoue are going back and forth tussling for pound for pound, that maybe Inoue because of the multiple weight divisions. You're shaking your head no. Tell me why no.
Because Inoue also, when he first moved up, he lost to Donell. Don't forget that. Bud ain't lost to nobody. Moving up or down, he moved up 3 times. He lost to nobody. Don't tell me he...
Tim Bradley has openly stated that Terence Crawford would beat a prime Floyd Mayweather. He believes Crawford's timing, strength, power, and ability to adjust give him the edge. Still, Bradley has always shown deep respect for Floyd, calling him one of his all-time favorites for his defense, speed, and agility. Before the Canelo vs. Crawford fight, Bradley said a Canelo loss would hurt his legacy more than losing to someone like David Benavidez, since Crawford was older and moving up 2 weight classes. He pointed out that if Canelo lost, it wouldn't just be about one fight, it would raise questions about whether he's past his prime or avoiding true challenges.
Terence Crawford would beat a prime Mayweather. I'm telling you right now, he would beat him. Yes, it would be a competitive fight, but Crawford, master thinker just like Floyd. The advantage that Floyd has is that he has great defense. The advantage that Crawford has is that he not only can fight orthodox, he can also, he's versatile. He can switch to the southpaw stance. And we all know that Floyd don't like to fight southpaws. We know that. What happens when you have a guy just as smart as you are and able to make adjustments like Crawford? What happens when you have a guy that can hurt you with either hand? A guy that's powerful and strong like Crawford. A guy that's quick as Crawford. A guy that can fight you in the pocket. A guy that knows how to execute that Philly shell. He knows how to bust through that. He'll have enough to beat Floyd, and he'll have enough to gain respect and hurt Floyd too. I don't think he knocks him out, but I think he'll win the close decisions. Hey, I want to know what everybody else.
After defeating Canelo Alvarez, Crawford addressed his critics in the post-fight press conference. He said people had always told him he was a nobody who couldn't beat a fighter like Canelo. Now that he did, he asked what they could possibly say. He called the victory a signature win over a man who had never lost at super middleweight. Crawford also mentioned that the crowd and media clearly favored Canelo, but insisted that it only motivated him to perform better and prove his doubters wrong.
What was his power like? Have you been hit by anybody that strong before?
I've been hit harder.
No, in a real fight, not a sparring.
In a real fight. Not Avanesian, but Mean Machine hit harder than Canelo, to me. To be honest.
In a recent interview, Floyd Mayweather hinted that he might actually return to professional boxing after his upcoming exhibition match with Mike Tyson scheduled for spring 2026. Speaking to TMZ, Floyd said that while nothing is guaranteed, discussions have taken place. He emphasized that he's feeling sharp, staying in shape, and eager to give fans something memorable. Whether he risks his unbeaten record again remains uncertain, but for the first time in years, Floyd has left the door slightly open.
Life for so long with Floyd fighting this guy, fighting Manny, fighting Conor, and all those, you were just at the center of all these talks for so many years. It's exciting to be back there again. Any chance that you would take a professional bout in the future after Mike, or is that off the table?
Let's own it. Let's own it. It's been talks. It's possible.
Floyd's genius or Bud's grit, who truly takes the crown?